You're listening to Europe Today with me, Audrey Carville, on the BBC World Service. It's almost 100% certain we are to blame for global warming. According to scientists at a major environmental conference in Paris, there's a 90% chance that the reasons for climate change can be blamed on humans. The conclusion is made by the UN panel on climate change, and its report is due to be published tomorrow. Let's hear more now from our science correspondent, Matt McGrath, who's in Paris this evening. Matt, this report was leaked today. What does it say?
Audrey, it's reaffirming what many people have believed for a long, long time. It's the scientists coming out for the first time in 6 years and saying with pretty much conclusive certainty that temperatures around the world are going up, and that in the last 50 years human activity in terms of burning fossil fuels has been the principal ingredient in that. They're saying this with an almost unanimous voice.
And the evidence, they have it to back it up?
They're basing this on a review of all the scientific literature that's been published in the last few years. 6 years ago they brought out a report that said it was more than likely, about a 66% chance, that the global warming was due to mankind's activities in burning fossil fuels. Since that time, many more reports have come out. There's been a better analysis of deep ice cores, which have shown patterns in nature down to the centuries. There's been a better understanding of atmospheric data, and they've had a better they've filled in a lot of the blanks, if you like, in terms of the climate picture. And they're now saying that, look, it's virtually certain, or it's more than likely that human activity is responsible. The burning of fossil fuels is what's driving this particular heating.
What's the impact of this going to be on the global debate, Matt?
This is a very significant report in that it's purely about the science, but what's significant about it is that the scientists this week have been sitting down with government representatives from over 100 countries around the world, all the big countries there, the EU, the United States, everybody's represented, China, and they've hammered out the wording of this agreement with them, and this is what is taking all this time this week. And the good thing about that is that it's a consensus. It will be a consensus. When the report is presented tomorrow morning, it will say these are the things that we all agree on, and the governments agree on them as well, and then later in the year they'll be putting out further reports that will show us just what we need to do to address these problems.
But of course there are still many people around the world who doubt that humans are the main cause of climate change.
There are some people around the world, but not very many of them in the science community, it has to be said. There's a growing certainty among scientists that humans and their activities, particularly the increase in the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, is paralleled by the rise in temperatures, and that the two are connected, and that we have seen this rise over the last 150 years or so in the temperature scale, and we've seen the rise in carbon, and that the two are connected. And they're projecting for the next 100 years there'll be 3 degrees of temperature rise, and it'll be done by us by the warming that by the carbon we've already put up in the atmosphere, and that this will have many implications. It will increase drought, it will increase famine throughout the world. There will be sea level rises that will impact people. They're quantifying all this, and the data they have is more certain, and they're getting better with their picture all the time.
Well, Matt, as I say, you're in Paris this evening. You're standing underneath the Eiffel Tower. It's still lit up at the moment, but not for too much longer.
That's right. They're not expecting an impending power cut or anything like that, but they are going to turn off the lights in about a couple of hours' time, and a symbolic gesture. It's been organised by Friends of the Earth in France to show just what a symbolic event we're having here in terms of the launch of this report and the concerns for the world in terms of our use of energy. It's not just happening in Paris, it's happening at a number of other venues. It's a purely symbolic gesture, but it will certainly grab attention.
Matt, good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. Matt McGrath live there from Paris, and as Matt says, the activism is catching. Austrians, Belgians, Swedes and the Spanish are also being asked to join in the symbolic switch off in a couple of hours' time. Samuel Martín-Sosa is from the Ecologists in Action in Madrid, and I asked him where in Spain the lights would be going out tonight.
Well, we hope it will be going out in the whole country, in every home. But officially there have been some administrations that are joining this initiative. For example, in Madrid, the Puerta de Alcalá will be lighted off, and also in Barcelona some markets will be lighted off, and in Valencia, the City of the Arts, in Sevilla, the Giralda, which is like the most representative monuments. But overall, for us, it is a citizens' movement to claim politicians to take action.
What is the point of all of this?
The reason of this act is that we have a situation in which the scientific community is sending really alarming signals and politicians are not doing enough. So it's time for the citizens' turn to say we are here, we are worried about the health of our planet, and we are aware that there is an urgency in the need of action, and you politicians who should be representing me are not doing enough.
But isn't it counterproductive? Because when the lights go back on, there will be a power surge and it will use even more energy.
Well, this may be true, but this is just a symbolic act. On terms of real effectiveness and reduction of CO2 emission is not such a big deal. And this is what we are claiming, in fact, that this is not a matter of lighting off the lights during 5 minutes. It is okay, for example, the mayor of Madrid wants to turn off the light of the monuments, but when we go to the municipality and we say, oh, hey, this is the impact of Christmas lights, I mean, they're not needed, let's light them off, he will not listen to us. So I think it is really daily action.
But as well as the politicians, don't you also have to get your message across to just the ordinary people of Spain? Because if this report is true, then it is us, human beings, who are all responsible for global warming.
Yeah, of course. This is an issue in which action can be taken in every level, in the political level, but also on the citizens, individual citizens level. But also they should be helped and pushed by political initiative.
And that was Samuel Martín-Sosa from Ecologists in Action talking to me from Madrid.